Hi, my name is Scott Peterson, and this is my presentation on the different beliefs of Christianity and Judaism. So for my presentation, what I'm going to do is bring in my youth pastor that I grew up with from the church that I go to currently, and the church that I've always gone to for several years now, and I'm going to interview him and ask him several questions, what he feels Christianity is and how he would compare it to Judaism today.
My name is Luke Angus. I am one of the pastors on staff at First Baptist Church of Big Bear Valley up in Big Bear Lake, California, and I am primarily responsible for the youth and their families. I became a Christian about 16 years ago. Prior to becoming a Christian, I didn't really understand what the Bible says being a Christian is about. I had just assumed what I think many people assume, that being a Christian is about being a good person. It's about going to church. It's helping little old ladies across the street. It's making sure your good deeds outweigh your bad deeds. And unfortunately for me and the many people who believe that, that is not at all what the Bible says. What the Bible teaches is that mankind is sinful, that mankind has fallen short of a perfect God. See, God is absolutely perfect. And if we want to have a relationship with a perfect God, if we want to be able to spend eternity with Him, if we go in sinful and broken, then we bring that brokenness into a perfect heaven. That doesn't work. And so the Bible says that there was nothing we could do on our own to make ourselves perfect again. So God, in His wisdom, sent His Son to live and to live a perfect life and to die in our place, because the Bible says that the only way that sin can be paid for is through death. And so either we die and pay for it ourselves, or someone else dies in our place. And the only person to ever live a perfect life was Jesus. He did that, and He died in our place so that we didn't have to. See, Jews and Christians have a lot in common. Everything was made on the same foundation. In fact, the person who much of Judaism revolves around, Abraham, is also the father of Christianity as well. And after Abraham came Moses, and from Moses there were more promises from God and more directions for how the Jewish people should live. And that's been the foundation of the Jewish faith, is that promise, that they lean on that and they are seeking a Messiah, the promised one who will come to save them. Now what that means to save them is different based upon what sect of Judaism you're a part of and what your perspective is. For many, they're looking for a socio-political ruler, someone who will come and conquer. And that's really what the Jews of Jesus' day were looking for, was a socio-political ruler. But what Christians believe is that Jesus was that promised Messiah, and that He was the one through whom Abraham was promised that the whole world would be blessed, that it was through Jesus that it opened up the faith to be less of a nationalistic religion and broadened it to a global faith that enabled all people to come to God in a way that, while they were invited to before, it was never on this scale. For Christians, we believe that if you follow Jesus, if you have accepted His death on your behalf and have committed to follow Him, then we believe that, to quote the New Testament, to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. That if you are not living life on earth, then you are living life with God in heaven. And that is for those who have followed Jesus. For those that aren't, you die separated from God in a place that I believe, and our church teaches, is a literal place the Bible calls hell. Other Christians have different views and perspectives on that.
So just like Luke said, Christians believe in heaven and they believe in hell. And it's a little bit different in Judaism. In Judaism, they tend to focus little on the afterlife and more the present life. they tend to want to do better in the current day, like while they live today. That's what they care about the most. What happened in the afterlife is not necessarily what is most important to them in life. One major view on the afterlife in Judaism is that it's different for every person almost. One person may believe that there is an afterlife and that it would be called a heaven, and the next person might say that he does not believe in the afterlife. And this is probably one of the most controversial topics when it comes to Judaism and their afterlife and their belief in the afterlife. While in Judaism, the afterlife is not necessarily a first thought in their life, it is still very important, and is very important and something to look forward to most Jews. And in one passage in the Mishnah is that it says, "This world is like a lobby before the Olam Haba," meaning the world to come. Prepare yourself in the lobby so that you may enter the banquet hall. Basically, they are comparing their life today as a lobby, and what they do, whether they do good deeds or not, the good deeds is the other things that will bring them to their actual home and will let them live in their actual home. So they're comparing life to a hotel, and once you get to enter through the hotel, you finally get to be at home. So there was my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you possibly learned some new things about the comparison between Christianity and Judaist beliefs. Have a good day.